Gone are the days that you can only be dependent on doing your workout every morning and expecting that you're going to be healthy. We want to improve our mental and emotional quotient. We want to get stronger emotionally and mentally.
Sometimes people say people who are meditating, they're boring. Do I feel interested in meditation every single day? No.
How to look at uncertainty? What tools can we use to overcome this?
How we respond to various emotions in life that creates somehow all kinds of ailments in our physical body.
The unknown exists, but how do we prevent it from consuming us?
There is a difference between a monkey mind and a matured mind.
So many people might be out there right now saying, yes, I know what I need to do, but I just don't end up doing it when I should be doing it.
You'll be amazed that how is it that my willpower has skyrocketed now.
Wholesome living makes everything more beautiful.
What are you cooking today?
Good morning, Daaji. It's so good to see you. It's been about 3 years since we last met and had such an inspiring conversation, which my clients around the world still talk about. I think those 30 minutes we spent together at your ashram and the amount of knowledge you put into 30 seconds, it benefited my patients, it benefited my clients, it benefited me. And that's why today, through these difficult times, I feel the requirement to reach out to you again, because the world has changed since we last spoke. And I think I just want to start off by saying, Daaji, Heartfulness meditation has been part of our entire ecosystem. It started off with, all of your amazing team inspiring our cancer patients around the world. I still remember I was in the US. I was at Sloan's, the cancer hospital, and I had patients who were with anguish and they just couldn't calm down. And I called up Dolly in India and I said, listen, do you have someone in the US who can come and teach Heartfulness? People need to calm down. And within 45 minutes, there was a Heartfulness meditation teacher who came in from New Jersey into New York City and sat down with this patient in front of me and took her through a Heartfulness session and continued to do it for the next 3 to 4 days. And I saw that change and transformation in front of my eyes. And the best part of it is, Daaji, it was cancer. Today, all of our patients around the world embrace Heartfulness meditation, whether they're patients of Alzheimer's, type 2 diabetes, depression. It's unbelievable how it's become such a universal mechanism where it started off with cancer for us, but we've seen how it's impacted all kinds of people. We even have children doing Heartfulness today who are sick in hospital with cancer during their chemotherapy. And it's a beautiful feeling. And that's why I want to share this secret today with the world that, Heartfulness, how do we make it part of my life? And I've also had people, Daaji, who say that, Luke, I try to do Heartfulness, but I just can't sit down and do it. My mind is all over the place. I'm doing Heartfulness, but I still have relationship problems with my wife. I'm doing Heartfulness, but I still can't stop eating sugar. So we try to explain to them that wholesome living makes everything more beautiful. You can have a meditation practice, or you can have a powerful meditation practice. It has to be integrated with wholesome living. So I just wanted to thank you and your amazing, amazing team for adding so much of value across the world. And that's why I wanted to speak to you today, because Daaji, we are going through very difficult times. I wouldn't like to say that. Some people see it as difficult times. Some people see it as opportunity. But I think what's scaring most people is uncertainty. What's happening? When is this going to end? Why can't we handle the virus? Why isn't there no medicine yet? So I think uncertainty is giving rise to fear. It's giving rise to uncontrolled anxiety. And I know people who are even saying that, Luke, I can't meditate because I'm too anxious. So Daaji, we would love your valuable wisdom on how to look at uncertainty? What tools can we use to overcome this?
Well, I'm happy that people are benefiting. Especially, it's so crucial when you are suffering terminal sorts of ailments. Meditation is the core of everything. Just as we have this physical body, which is supported by very micro neurological systems. Your eye can be perfectly good, but if the nerve is cut, you won't be able to see it. If the nerve is infected, you'll have a problem seeing. So nerve is the main thing. Behind this nervous system, there is something even grander. Behind this brain, there is a mind. And behind the mind, there is some level of consciousness. Consciousness involves thinking, intelligence, deciding factor based on ego. Now, when we meditate, all these three things comes to fine tune. Namely, this thinking faculty, intelligence faculty, and your ego that drives in making crucial decisions or any decision. Now, when mind is regulated and these three aspects of our mental body are regulated, then automatically, I say automatically, physiological, neurological, or physical system will also resonate with the inner. And slowly, this resonance, better it is if it is resonating with a better mental system, it will have its impact at a physical level. So, I give you a small example. When you are worried, what happens to your entire system? Worry is at a different level. Can you say that the worry is in my stomach or the worry is in my hair or head? Worry grips your whole body. It speaks upon. When you're angry, your moods are different. Your body expressions are different at that time. And it is said, I think, time and again, that it is how we respond to various emotions in life that creates somehow all kinds of ailments in our physical body. So we have to hit this root, the mind. But purer the mind, simpler the mind, the health will improve. And health will also remain in a better condition. See, I'm not talking about infections here. Infection and your mental state has nothing to do. There is no comparison here. I was talking about lifestyle diseases. When we talk of infections like COVID, even if you may be meditating, it can still affect you because it is of a different level. It attacks us at a physical level. But meditating helps us combat with this virus in a better way. You are better prepared. How? First of all, a meditative mind will not become anxious and stressed out. And since you are not stressed out, you remain relaxed. And because of this relaxed state of mind, the hormonal states and other neurological cooperation from our body will only boost the immune system. You already know, and a lot of people who are watching this also know, that when you are stressed, your cortisol level shoots up, your immunity falls. So, stressed out, being anxious during such pandemic is not going to help us.
That's amazing, Daaji. And that's exactly what I mean. And we're trying to stress to the world that wholesome living. It's gone are the days where you can only be dependent on one pill. Yes, you may need that one pill that can save your life. Gone are the days that you can only be dependent on doing your workout every morning and expecting that you're going to be healthy. It's everything together, from the way you think to the way you act. So, Daaji, I have a question for you. Why do people's fears tend to rise when they have the fear of the unknown? whether it's a child, I don't know whether the exam is going to be easy or not. Whether it's a young teenager who's scared about, will he say yes or no? Will she say yes or no if I propose my love? Or it's adults, all this uncertainty. Why does it create so much of fear? And how can heartfulness and meditation help us understand that the unknown exists, but how do we prevent it from consuming us or making us react out of stress and react out of negative emotions?
This fear of unknown, it's very complex phenomena. See, the main thing is, in all the examples that you have given as a teenager, or when you're making a crucial decision, or when you are appearing in school exam, however well prepared you are, however long your relationship may have been, but that final moment, you don't know how it will turn out. You see, I give you my own example. After my final exams in pharmacy, I thought now my friend and I will not be meeting ever again. And I liked her. Uh, we remained friends for many years. I mean, we studied together, etc. But there was not even physical touching. Boys those days were happy enough to even touch the shadow of a person they loved. And they would talk all day long, I touched her shadow. That was once upon a time. Anyway, when she expressed her state of mind that, no, Kamlesh, I am not, interested in marrying you. Not in so many words, but she simply said no. Imagine what could have gone through my, tuck, 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 tuck. It's bound to happen. And perhaps a person knows it already, that there will be no or there will be yes. But in my case, I had no idea what was going to happen. So I was fully prepared. But meditation helped me a lot. Immediately, I went to my trainer's place. She was free enough to give me a meditation session. And within 20 minutes, the burden that I had in my heart, it disappeared like dark clouds from the sky. I was freed from that emotional baggage. Otherwise, many youngsters, they go into depression after this. But meditation did help me tremendously. And I give all these credits to Heartfulness way of, especially the trainers around the world who are always available in direct physical proximity, as well as nowadays remotely. You just request your ride as they do with Uber. Like that, you can request your meditation and the message will go around the world. And whoever is awake and ready and free to give you a meditation session will just immediately join you in less than 5 minutes. I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful system.
Thank you for sharing that story. I mean, it's beautiful how you explain that. I think it's just a shift of energy and the way, you could change in 20 minutes. Of course, you went through your pain, and I truly appreciate you expressing that, because we're all human. We will go through the pain of rejection, the pain of if someone says no or yes, but there's always something else that we can do. And I have to compliment your system, Daaji. We have patients all over the world, and they always get a meditation when they need it. They always get it. I've never had to say, hey, Luke, we're still waiting. We're still waiting. You said a meditation's going to happen. So I can't tell you how thankful we are for that. And so are all of our clients who meditate towards heartfulness. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Daaji, everyone knows what to do. I always believe that. We know what the right thing to do is. But most humans struggle to do it. Like, most people know that they should eat well, they should exercise, they should respect their sleep, they should meditate. We know it. So I mean, I figured out my own ways. Of course, you have so much of experience and wisdom. I link it to demotivation. I link it to the reason not being strong enough. I link it to distractions of the outside world being so powerful that you forget what is important to you. But what would you tell us? Like, how do we understand this? Like, so many people might be out there right now saying, yes, I know what I need to do, but I just don't end up doing it when I should be doing it. So I would love for you to comment on that and motivate all of us to think differently about this.
Well, I wish I had an easy answer. I don't have an easy answer or a simple answer. It's an age old story. You know the famous Mahabharata. Duryodhana was questioned by so many of his elders, why do you behave like this? Why do you talk like this? Why do you act like this? And in the presence of Lord Krishna, Duryodhana says, look, I know what is right. I know what is wrong. Janami dharmam nachame pravritti. I know what is my dharma, but I cannot act. I'm helpless. I know what is bad, but I cannot detach myself from it. We all, as you say, know the importance of exercise, right diet, meditation. They positively influence our lifestyle and help us evolve altogether. Now, I always give this example of physical fitness. My son is a physical fitness freak, I would say. He would skip meals, but he will exercise no matter what. And I liked his dedication towards this physical fitness. The day he would skip, he'll feel so miserable. He said, Dad, it's raining and I can't go to my gym or something, He would say the gym is closed. It's not that he cannot go there, gym is closed. I said, look, you can do it at home. It's not the same. See, many people, they say, I go to temple or I go to meditation ashram where meditation is better. It's not the same when I do it at home. I do agree perfectly because there is that environment impact is there. So, what we learn from this, one thing is create an environment. Second thing, have a buddy system. That, like, you go together with your friend to a gym or you go to a bar and have a beer with your friend. You won't like to drink beer alone unless you have been dumped by someone, say. Meditation also, if you can find a company and do it together, even if it is remote. You can say, I'm sitting here in Goa and you may sit in Mumbai. It's all right. Let's meditate together and see the impact it has. So creating environment or reaching out to places which are charged with this divine fragrance. You can meditate in such places. You can meditate with people you like. Right? Also, just as you need appetizer before meals, similarly appetizing things like meditation, what will be the appetizer for meditation? To me, it has always been reading literature on the aspects of meditation, that what it can do and how others, great sages, have felt after doing some long hours of tapasya. But heartfulness is very different, very, very different from the age-old traditional system. Dhyana, as they say, is left to you how deeply you can go and enjoy that samadhi state. But here with heartfulness, because of pranahuti, which is transmitted by this trainer with the help of the guide, one is able to dive deeper into meditation. See? So when people do not have any experience or any outcome, after sitting for 30 minutes closing eyes, which can be tormenting to a lot of people. But here with the pranahuti, your meditation becomes a smooth sail. You feel like doing it again and again, again and again, you see. In fact, I have to tell people, don't overdo it. It's not necessary. But more you do it, I think more you'll enjoy, and more transformation you see in yourself, you'll enjoy it even more. It's like you also, I suppose, last time I commented that you must be a gym goer, you must be a regular gym visitor. So and it shows on your body when you are displaying these, muscles, and your physical, the way you walk, the way you stand. You stand out in a crowd when you are, physically fit. Similarly, I do find people meditating has a special aura around them. And around them, you'll always find peace. You'll always find comfort. While non-meditative mind, restless mind, you feel like running away from them. You feel, oh, let him be. Let's go away from here. So this is the result of restless mind. So over the years, when we see through our own personal experiences what all meditation can bring into one's life, you get amazed, and later on you learn that it's not worth skipping even a day without meditation, or rather, it is not worth skipping even a moment without having a meditative mind. Only meditative mind can appreciate whenever there is some turbulence. It can perceive it often even before the turbulence is about to start. So you are well prepared, see.
Daaji, I want to share my personal experience. So I've been doing Heartfulness now for a long time. And every time I'm in Dubai, especially, I have the privilege to visit your center and meditate with Pierre and so many other practitioners. But, I'll give you my example. There are days that I don't feel like doing the things that I should be doing. And I try to reason, why is it? I slept well last night. I'm happy. Things are good. Everything is fine. But I just don't feel like doing it. So I try to meditate, and what I get out of that is clarity. For me, I don't know. I think it's different for everyone. But once I'm done with my meditation, I just have this clarity in me. And in that clarity, I find out why I didn't want to do that. Maybe I just need a break. So I just don't do it. Or, okay, I was being lazy. I was saying, okay, tomorrow is the weekend. I'll start on Monday. So I think I found my answers in that clarity. So for me, heartfulness kind of gives me peace is one thing, but it gives me that kind of clarity to find out, why don't you want to do something which you should be doing. But I guess it's different for everyone.
Well, I tell you very frankly and honestly, do I feel interested in meditation every single day? No.
I'm
My
sure
great
everyone
master,
would be expecting that from you, that, oh, wow, he must be meditating all the time. And I love your honesty. I love how you're talking about this. Please go ahead. Yeah.
is my great master Babuji Maharaj also. I can see in his diaries, which he used to submit to his master, and he would say, my my huzur, my beloved or my honorable sir, this morning I did not feel like meditating. The next day he would write, I meditated but only for 5 minutes. So, to me personally, I have learned, even if you don't feel like meditating, but try, at least close your eyes only for 1 minute and express yourself, oh, today it's okay. Let me at least do my meditation for 1 minute. I will not finish half hour. That's okay too. There is no hard and fast rule with heartfulness practices that I have to do it. No. If you can do it, great. If you cannot do it, at least spare 1 minute for yourself. It will change. Your mind will change after 1 minute so much that you will thank yourself for at least giving yourself 1 minute of pause. In fact, look, many a times during my business meetings in New York, I ran businesses there for 30 years. It's still going on there. But during the meetings, all of a sudden I would feel a sudden urge. Meetings are going on. And I would excuse my other friends and say, would you just give me 5 minutes? I don't tell them that I'm going to meditate, because they may not appreciate that I'm taking off 5 minutes from this important meeting. But I go to bathroom close my eyes, and be oblivious to the rest of the world for those 5 minutes. I get recharged and come back and join them. Okay, wipe your hands and let's start talking. See? But that would give me so much of clarity also during the meeting, what to discuss, what not to discuss, and things like that. See?
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And I really think, I mean, your example, it should be in all corporate worlds. I'm a firm believer that we can be more productive if the mind is rested and recharged. There's no doubt about it. I see that in my own team, when they're overstressed and worked out because we have too many patients, you can just see like the battery drain. And then we just declare like 1 or 2 complete holidays for everyone to recharge, and they are back to even better than before sometimes. So that's a beautiful example. And I like that about heartfulness. It's easy. People can do it effortlessly. And I think that's the beauty of heartfulness meditation. But Daaji, I want to talk about time. We all have 24 hours in a day. You, me, billionaires, everyone, all of us just have 24 hours in a day. Yet people feel that 24 hours is not enough anymore. Could be for several reasons. People are more ambitious. They want to do so much more. They want it all. But I know people who meditate, they always seem to have this, this time is balanced throughout the day very, very well. What is the connection between meditation, managing your time, structuring your time? Is it true that the more we meditate, the more effective we become with our own time management in our personal space? Can you talk about that, please?
It just happens naturally. There is a difference between a monkey mind and a matured mind. Monkey mind will keep jumping from one project to another project. Right? One whose mind is not settled will have many ideas floating in and out, in and out, in and out. And they will be wasting so much of time thinking over all kinds of projects. But when you meditate and you're calm and with yourself, you will see, first of all, what not to do. Again, giving examples from my pharmacy days, there used to be very critical moments which products to stock in the pharmacy and which should not be stocked. It's a big debate everywhere because it takes away space, it takes away a lot of investment, a lot of finance. So now once you make up your mind with total clarity, and this comes when you meditate. You see, often before I go to pharmacy to work, I would spend at least 30 to 40 minutes meditating. In those meditating hours, do you think I think of God all the time? No. Though the idea begins with the presence of God in our heart, okay. But sometimes these thoughts would go in a different tangent. And this tangent or the direction could be the products associated in your pharmacy. Then it will go through, oh, I should stock this, I should not stock that. Automatically the answer keeps coming into your heart. So what happens now? Something that you have gone through in your mind in a minute or two, now you will not stock those items, you will not waste your time in arranging it on a shelf. You will not be, making transaction on that. You save so much of time. Similarly, when you are hiring employees, what happens there? You have half a dozen people. Even before you call people, you go through this paper or application. You know whom to call. You don't have to go through half a dozen of them and waste your time. This inner guidance, the total clarity that comes because of meditation is amazing. See, even most mothers, I would say, in Indian society, especially, most families have this typical problem: what to cook, what to eat this evening. Ladies have this constant problem. But meditative mind will just, even if you say at the last minute, let's eat. And then she's always ready with something or the other. There will not be a big debate. It is the debate that consumes our time and complicates life. And when the mind is clear, okay, I'm going to make this evening. End of the story. You don't waste time in discussions, lengthy discussions. So sometimes people say, oh, people who are meditating, they're boring. To outside world, they look boring because they don't discuss things. The need to discuss and waste time simply drops off. So meditation, to people who are not meditating, they will always say, "Oh, they are funny people. They are weirds, and they don't mix with us." Things of that nature. But there is no need to, so-called gossips to be engaged with. Some people I have seen, at least in some families, when you visit, the lady of the house will call some other friend, "What are you cooking today?" I mean, why do you make a phone call finding what other person is cooking? That's a non-meditative mind, see, wasting time in useless things.
So I like that word that you use, inner guidance. Such a powerful word, because I think everyone has an inner voice that guides them if we listen. And everyone also has an inner light, which we can either let it shine brightly or we can dampen it. And I saw this in Dubai at your center when I think Pierre had conducted a meditation, a heartfulness for, I had done a talk and then we ended it with meditation. And I was on stage. I opened up my eyes like 5 minutes before the meditation ended, just to look at people. And when people had finished the heartfulness session and they opened their eyes, like you said, there's an aura. I could just see bright faces. No one went in between to wash their faces or put cream on their faces or moisturize their faces. It's something that you see, that inner light, how it shines when you've just gone through a short session of closing your eyes, meditating, focusing on your inside. And I think that inner voice that you talk about is what is being suppressed today, with people moving too fast in life, talking unnecessary stuff, like you said. I think all of those things dampen our own lights. And I remember about 3 years ago, you used the word, it stayed with me, thought pollution. Too many thoughts, it's creating pollution in the mind. So meditation is one way out of it. Any other tips that you would have? Because today, something that's scary, a lot of people even self-label themselves that, oh, I'm emotionally unstable. Oh, my mental awareness and my mental health is really down. And I'm like, you're just probably having a bad day because you're not feeling like this every day. So, Daaji, what tips would you give people out there who feel that they are mentally low or emotionally low? And, everyone always puts the situation. Now it's the pandemic that is causing emotional, issues and mental awareness. Before the pandemic, it was something else. The point is, what are your 2 or 3 most powerful tips that you would give people today if we're sitting over here and we want to improve our mental and emotional quotient? We want to get stronger emotionally and mentally. From all of your experience, Daaji, what would you advise us on?
Heartfulness cleaning or rejuvenation. Before I get into that, I'll share with you a story. It's a small, very brief story from Buddha's life. Buddha moved from place to place, and this is how he shared his knowledge, he shared his experiences. One day, one afternoon, he felt thirsty. Those days we didn't have those thermos and water jugs and things like that. Anyway, they may be carrying some mud pots perhaps, but that was empty. So he asked his close disciple, Govind, Govind, why don't you fetch me some water? There was a river nearby. So he went with his pot. But just before he reached the river side, on the way, bullock cart has passed through that shallow part of the river and muddied up the whole water. So he waited and didn't settle. The water was so dirty, so I can't give this water to Lord Buddha. So he comes back and explains to Lord Buddha. Sir, water is dirty, it's not settling. Buddha says, let's wait. You go again. Unfortunately, it was still. So he said, Lord Buddha sends him after 2-3 hours and says, now you go have a look. So, given enough time, when the dirt settles in your mind, it'll become clear. But we don't need to wait for 2 hours, 3 hours for thoughts to clear in our mind. Through this cleaning process, we can accelerate this process. You see, if there was a filtering system or RO water system in those days, then Buddha didn't have to, there was no need to wait for 3-4 hours for water to settle. You can instantly filter it. So to me, this idea of filtration is great. You can get rid of a lot of this dirt that settles in our mind through this process of cleaning. You can sit and use the techniques given by Heartfulness way, which is aided with pranahuti. It works instantly. You feel total clarity in your mind. And this ability to clean is also given by the trainer. They will equip you with so much of strength in you. You'll be amazed that how is it that my willpower has skyrocketed now. My willpower has become better enough to get rid of some of the dirts from my mind. So to me, besides meditation, cleaning can help us a lot. A lot of people, almost all of us, we collect so much of things knowingly or unknowingly during our day-to-day interactions that affects us, that impresses our mind. We get conditioned because of whatever happens around us. We get conditioned environmentally, emotionally, and at many levels, even at physically, we get conditioned. We need to break this conditioning. Suppose if I form an opinion about someone falsely, and if I get an opportunity of cleaning out this particular opinion, then I'll be able to free myself from these false opinions. And that will improve my relationship. I will have total clarity about situation. In Buddhism also they praise this beginner's mind. And I love this term, beginner's mind, because beginner's mind is not conditioned. And cleaning under Heartfulness way brings back this beginner's mind in instant. And sometimes when the emotions are so great that you yourself are not able to clean it, then these trainers are always there. You need not even tell them that I have this problem or I have that problem or somebody did something to me or she refused me. You don't have to go in details. Trainers are not interested in details. They are interested in helping us getting back to the depth of our being. And they are well trained. Almost 14,000 trainers we have worldwide. So you won't have to worry about waiting. As we discussed earlier, there is no waiting time when it comes to such requests of meditating with a trainer. Trainer's main job is to clean, to help us come back to a better state of being through this cleaning. So I highly recommend this cleaning aspect. Another tip I would like to share that every meditation, it's a kind of investment. You have spent half hour of, from your precious time. And you have arrived at a certain level of meditative mind. Most people, what mistake they make is this. Right after meditation, they get up like a spring jumping. Oh, I finished my meditation, and they just start walking. No, you should not do that. After meditation, savor, enjoy, Be one with that condition, spiritual state, right after meditation. The way we, after laying a concrete, fresh concrete or a pavement, you don't start using it, right? Concrete has to be settled for a day or 24 hours or so. If you start using it, like the dogs walking on it or a cat walking on it, or some people writing, I love so and so, you see such signs on concrete in many places. But this remains as a permanent print, permanent ugliness. So when we meditate and you have some level of stillness of mind, which is so fragile, it is more fragile than a fresh concrete. Let it settle in your system. You spent half an hour, 2-3 extra minutes will not hurt you. Hold on to that state as much as you can. Allow it to settle and be part of every cell of your body, and get up from that meditative state afterward and say, okay, I'll be able to hold on to this state for most part of the day. Then you'll be able to see that even my fingers are feeling transmission, my toes are feeling transmission, everything will become very charged. And this is in our hand, this is all because of our mind. When we apply this thought after meditation that, yes, I will be able to retain this spiritual condition, you will be able to retain it. If you forget it for a moment, it's okay. You can bring back your attention again. So you are driving, you are cooking, you are sharing your knowledge with others, you are trying to heal others. During all these moments when we remain in connection with the morning meditation's condition, I think the things that we do will also have an impact. For example, after meditation, with that meditative mind, you cook. With that meditative mind, you partake food. With that meditative mind, you drive. With that meditative mind, when you listen to music or pop some pills in your, because you have some ailments. When you hold those pills in your hands and you have meditative mind and you hold water with such a meditative mind, prayerful mind, you drink, there is a positively charged vibrations. There is positivity there. And because of this positivity, the potency also can change. I don't say, and I don't want to misguide people, but see the effect. See the effect, how it helps you, how it brings peace, how it brings confidence in yourself. So, retaining condition, and more you can retain the spiritual condition, it is better for us. So, and when you have a certain level of meditative mind, you will not be swayed unnecessarily by the environment or by the gossips or by the things that you see on TV. You'll be seeing all these things. It's not that you will not be watching TV. It is not that you will not be having love. It is not that you will not be meeting your friends. No, you'll be doing all these things, but with a meditative mind. And it has its own beauty. We do not avoid anything. We lead a full-fledged life, but with a deep inner silence.
Oh, Daaji, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for connecting that. I love the word that you use, savor. It's such a powerful word. Even the same way you explained it about thoughts and meditation, it's the same with food. When people really savor the food, they connect with the taste. The pleasure receptors in the brain gets that feeling because we eat food even for pleasure. And then it doesn't ask you for more food. So even savoring your food plays such a huge role in how much you may eat or how much you may even junk. So I think, again, that goes into the whole concept of that wholesome conscious living that you just mentioned.
One more thing I'd like to add, since you mentioned about savoring food. I briefly did mention about cooking with meditative mind, right? I mean, you have seen your mother's food, and you also have tasted and taken food in many hotels with many friends and with many hosts. Everywhere there is a difference. Difference is in what state of mind it was being cooked. Also, in what state of mind we consume food. I give you, everybody is well aware of this Paulo, Russian scientist Paulo. He conducted many experiments. One was with a dog, and that was related to specific conditioning of a dog. He would ring a bell and associate ringing of a bell with serving of food. So the dog would come hearing the bell. As soon as it starts running, dog knows that I'm going to get food. So it starts salivating even before it sees the food. So he was conditioned like that. A day came, Paulo had a funny idea that, okay, I will ring the bell, but will not serve the food. When the dog came salivating, he went crazy not seeing the food in front of him. He was so disturbed. This experiment is well known. But the second experiment that he did is so profound and which applies to us today is his experiment on cat. After serving the food, he would measure the gastric juice secretion in cat's stomach. One day he had this again funny notion. He invited dog while cat was partaking food. As soon as the dog arrived howling, barking, moment the cat heard that barking of a dog, she stopped eating. And at that very moment, the secretion from the stomach stopped. So, and she could not allow the secretion to come back for another 2 hours or so. That fear was so much. So when people partake food in an angry state of mind, fearful state of mind, there is no complete secretion of digestive juices. You may be able to digest perhaps, but it has a different impact on your system altogether. So when we partake food with a prayerful mind, prayerful heart, and with that state of absorption, you eat it, you enjoy this food. It's not that you become, totally silent and you don't speak. No, you can speak gently, you can talk gently, you can laugh. But when you remain meditative while consuming food, that itself has a different impact on your cellular system. And my master proudly used to say, it can remove so many spiritual diseases when you partake food in this way. See? And that's why in many religious traditions, they advocate offering prayers before partaking food. Offering prayer with gratefulness to God for providing food. This very act makes you peaceful. The moment you offer prayer, makes you peaceful and calm. It somehow triggers your parasympathetic system. It helps with digestion, makes you healthier. The idea is to become healthier. So they connected it with religion. Many traditions, many rituals which are done worldwide, I don't think God will be pleased for all these things. Oh, thank you, God, for food, and thank you, God, for this, thank you, God, for that. But all these things are for our benefit, not for God's sake. When you become grateful, God is not happy that you are grateful, of course. But when you are grateful, you will become happy, you will become mentally sound, your health will improve. So this gratefulness, savoring with that, savoring food with the remembrance, being grateful at that moment, I think it's very important that if we can spend time like that. Also, the sleep. When you, just before bedtime, you offer prayer, just as you offer prayer before taking meal. Offering prayer before bedtime triggers the parasympathetic system. And parasympathetic system is all about rest and digest. That's why for digestion, activate parasympathetic system through prayer. Similarly, activate parasympathetic system before going to bed for better rest. And when you can also meditate, you can lie down, close your eyes, and undergo this heartfulness way of relaxation while preparing yourself to sleep. You will arrive at sleep faster, and your sleep will also become deep. Your immunity also will improve as a result. People who can't sleep, their immunity will be compromised. Those who can sleep better, their immunity will also be better. To me, if you can sleep even 10 hours a day, wonderful. God bless you. Don't feel guilty for sleeping 10 hours.
Thanks, Daaji, for explaining that. I mean, you've explained everything together: digestion, assimilation of nutrients, sleep, the immune system, all together in the simplest way. Because while the world keeps searching for complication, okay, we are looking for vaccines, the next medication, but we have a mechanism within us which is so powerful, but yet people don't utilize it, like the simple things of savoring your food, saying your prayers, blessing your food, being grateful for you. All these little things are literally free. They're available to everyone, but yet people don't use them, as much as they should be doing it. So Daaji, I know we're so excited about the next session where you are going to lead all of us into that beautiful meditation, which I'm sure by now everyone wants to know how to do it. Thank you, Daaji. Thank you so much. I mean, we can't wait for the next session where we actually start to explore this whole concept of heartfulness that we've seen transform lives of all of our patients, clients, myself, so many people. Such a simple, beautiful system. And the way you've explained it today, I love the way you put your personal examples. I have to also appreciate the way you maintain your posture from the time we started to right now. Your posture has been like absolutely solid. Like you're so into the moment, and I think it's just amazing how your mind is connected. And like you've spoken about how your mind and the physical and the physiological connections are real. I think you demonstrate that. And thank you for your time, Daaji. And I hope to talk to you again soon, where we can actually go through a couple more questions and then actually take people through this beautiful concept and have them meditate with you. So thank you so much for your time.
I'm very happy, very happy. You can ask your friends and family members. If they have also questions, you can collect it, and we can tackle them next time. And thank you. We'll meditate together next time. All the best, Luke, and see you soon. Yes.
Take care.